This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, let's go. Let's talk a little football. My man Franco Panizo, ready to go. There he is. How you doing, my man? You doing good?
I'm doing well, brother. I just found out I had a pizza place up here in South Florida. I didn't realize I had one.
Yeah, we had a Franco's because I told Sean, hey, maybe I sent the link wrong, but I only have one Franco's on my thing. So did I send you the link finally? Did you get it?
No, you did. It's
Okay,
just
okay,
on my
okay.
phone. My phone's default is Google Chrome, and Google Chrome apparently has issues with StreamYard. It has to be through Safari, and I always forget that. So
No, because I only know two Francos, you and then Franco's Pizza back in the day here in South Florida that we used to have it all over the place. So I figured that, that's it.
user error on my part. User error.
Yeah, it's all good in the hood. And Franco's Pizza was pretty good, by the way. It's pretty damn good. All right, so talk to me about this team this year. Why should I be more jacked up than I was last year?
The team has a little more football to it, a little more soccer skills over the course of the entire starting lineup and maybe some of the first players off the bench. So there's more football to the team. You'll see probably a better style or a more aesthetically pleasing style. Now, will that translate to results and wins and where InterMiami wants to be? Well, we could talk about that. I think it's going to be a slow build. I think it's going to be another slow start to the season. I don't think that the starting group, the strongest group, is where it needs to be collectively. I think several individuals are still lagging behind a little bit in terms of their preseason preparation, fitness, sharpness, all that. So I think you'll see a slow start to the season, and then we'll see where the chips are in about a month or two. When
if they're a playoff team, who are the goal scorers they must count on? Who must have terrific years for them to get into the playoffs and make some noise?
Campana has to score some goals. You
and
have
stay
to
healthy.
imagine. You have
And
to
stay
imagine
healthy.
Joseph Martinez as well. They brought him on board, and they're planning to play with two strikers up top. So those are the two starting strikers. Full Level has made much secret about that. But those are the two preferred strikers in the 4-4-2 diamond, which he's used a good bit during this preseason. This recently concluded preseason. So those two guys have to score goals. You have to imagine you're going to get some as well from the midfield. So Nicolas Stefanelli, the Argentine, who came over from Europe. You have to imagine he contributes some goals and some assists here and there. So you just need the players in attacking positions and starting attacking positions to deliver. I don't think anyone's going to have, maybe a Gonzalo Higuain type of stretch run where they put the team on their back. So you're going to need a little bit from a number of different players, and I think those three will be the biggest parts from what we know today. Because the team can change come summertime. There could be a signing here, a signing there, a big name, a small name. Never know. But things could change from now until summer.
Who's the midfielder that's going to make the difference? Because for me, that's also been a major weakness, is that they have not had a really good offensive midfielder that can really set people up and maybe even be a threat himself. Do they have that person on the roster right now?
So they don't have a pure number 10 on the roster. That's what the question is. Do they have a midfielder that's interesting? I think Stefanelli is an interesting player. I think he's got, like I said before, like one of the players that brings a little bit more football to the group, just in terms of his reading of the game, his understanding of the game, his technique, his flicks, his tricks, his combination play. I like what I've seen from him in the early going. He'll get better as time gets moving, because he'll have more chemistry with the guys. He'll have more games, more minutes. He'll feel sharper. So I think he'll be one of the players to look out for. But is he a guy that's going to pull the strings and then set up other players consistently with through passes? I don't know if I see that in his game. I think he's more of a combination type of guy, someone that can score as well. But he's been playing in that 10 role. It's not a true 10, but he's been playing in the 10 role. So someone to keep an eye on is Nicolas Stefanelli in that midfield.
All right, make sure you follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Franco Panizo, and download and make sure you subscribe to Miami Total Football so you can find out anything and everything about this team. Franco, by the way, is the only media member that has been to every single home game
There
of
it is.
Miami
Thank
since
you, brother.
inception. So he is there all the time. He's like Sagua Fair. He is everywhere. Make sure you follow him there. So
I appreciate that shout out.
So now, I have thought that most of you, locally, nationally, internationally, have all been kind of full of shit, pretty much, about Messi coming here. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. He's going to stay. Okay, but now I'm starting to think there's some logic to this because I was convinced after the World Cup or after the Olympics that he was going to get a big deal from what's it called? No, the World Cup. I'm sorry. Uh, he was going to get a big deal from somebody in Europe or something, and maybe even go to the Saudis where Cristiano went. But maybe he's thinking that's bad PR, so I'm not. And he hasn't gotten that deal from Europe, and the season's about to start, and so you're going to be in the summer, and that thing's going to be up. What's up with Messi? Is it actually there actually is some truth to this? This thing
I mean,
really could end up happening?
that's why I told you. You never know. There's a big name that can come in the summer. Look, this is not inside information. I know the rest of Messi the same that we've seen and read, but I've always told you, Big, over the years when you've asked me here on the show, what do I think? I've always said I think Inter Miami is going to make a very serious, strong push and try to bring him on board. If that proves to be enough or not in the end, we'll see. We'll see. But I stand by that statement. I think Inter Miami makes a very serious push, and I think there's a good chance. I think they have a fighting chance in this thing. I don't
Well,
know
no,
if it's
now I believe it because nobody else has given him a contract, and I'm baffled by that. I'm absolutely baffled
I
that
mean,
he has not signed a new deal.
it's also probably in his interest to drag it out and be in the headlines. Will he? Won't he? He's part of the daily conversation and the international sports conversation. So it's probably as well as his interest not to jump to any decisions and drag it out a little bit. See what offers he gets, and then see where he wants to go. I think that there's a chance that he comes to South Florida. I think Inter Miami needs it because this team, even though it has maybe a little bit more football to it, it doesn't have a whole lot of star power. And I don't know if fans are going to turn out consistently for a team without star power.
They're not.
Maybe.
They're not turning out for this team at all. They have to win a shitload so you can then bring them out because then winning will bring them out. But you're right, and Moss knows that. He knows he needs star power in a big time way. So let me ask you something: is this going to be a David Beckham thing? Because Sean and I were talking about this. That they'll for sure give him a team, give him an expansion team, and say, "Here you go. We're going to give you a discounted team. They go for $500 million. Here's yours for 50, and you can." Build your own team when you're done, and you can be an owner and you can be a part of the MLS. Will that be a part of the whole mix? Will it be only Moss, or will it also be the league trying to assist in making this happen? Because everybody wins.
What won't they offer him is probably the better question because listen, it's not only beneficial to Inter Miami if he comes here, it's beneficial to MLS as a whole. The whole tide rises if Lionel Messi comes to South Florida this summer because now you have so many more eyeballs on the league. Apple TV will be a very happy corporate sponsor for MLS, entering that first year of their new deal. Adidas, which is Messi's lifetime sponsor, they're a sponsor for the league as well. So there's going to be all types of different wrinkles, I'm sure, offered to Messi to try to make him come on board, especially since this is now officially the lead up to the 2026 World Cup, which will be here in the United States as well as in Mexico and Canada. So there will be plenty of reasons to offer him boatloads of cash, all types of incentives, ownership of an MLS team, perhaps. You name it. Talk shows, whatever he's looking for. You can probably find here. They'll make it a very sweet deal. Again, will it be too good to pass up on? Only Messi and his family will be able to decide that. But I think Inter Miami and MLS make a very, very serious push.
What's the percentage that he ends up in an Inter Miami uniform this summer?
If you're asking me, I flip the coin. I say 50-50 as of today. 50.
Damn it, you waffler.
Hey, if you want to know what I think he's coming. I think he's coming.
Well, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
I think he's coming.
I want some confidence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to be realistic. But if you're asking me what I think, yeah, I think he's coming. I think.
So you're going 60-40 now.
I mean, if you're asking me what I think, sure, yes. I would go. Oh, I mean, I thought you were asking.
All right. 51-49, Sean says. 51-49.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I think he's coming. I think I think it'll make sense
I
for
didn't
him.
believe it for a second. I didn't think it was realistic. I thought he was going to get a deal, but every day that passes that he doesn't have a deal by the summer now, I think he's coming now. I'm getting more and more convinced that Messi will be in an Inter Miami uniform. And by the
Listen,
way, I told my buddy 4 days ago, I said, dude, you should go buy season tickets. Go buy a couple pairs. He goes, why? And I go, because when Messi gets here, you'll be able to sell the second half of the season and make up all your money and a hell of a lot more on top of all of that.
it's
Because
not. It's,
huh?
it's not a.
What?
It's not a bad. It's not a bad gamble. It's not a
I
bad gamble
know.
to take there. So,
I know.
I'll say. I'll say this because it's. I don't think it's an insignificant fact. I think it was the World Cup final. But Jorge Mas was either in or close to Messi's entourage and the suite that Messi's group had. I don't think it's coincidental. I don't
Of
know how
course not.
Jorge, like there's definitely some talks that have been had. I don't think I know there's tampering rules and all these things that come into play with international signings and all this. But Jorge Mas being in the suite or near Messi's suite with Messi's entourage when Inter Miami's trying to sign Messi, I mean, you put two and two together and see and figure that out. So
And we all know tampering never goes on in any pro sport whatsoever. Never. Never. Come on. We're the team that had 5 DPs, bro. Come on. These guys are going to do anything they can to win. That's the good thing about the Moss brothers. They're going to do whatever it takes to win, brother. It doesn't matter whatever it is. So I'm telling you, I'm dead wrong on this. I thought it would never happen, but now I'm more and more convinced that it's going to happen because I think he would have had a deal already in place. A guy like him, you're risking injury right now. And then what? And what if you blow out your knee? Then you're not going to get that deal. So to me, this tells me he's coming here already because I can't imagine. Come on, Franco. Let's think about this. His agent hasn't gotten calls from teams all over the world that the Saudis haven't already called and said, "Hey, man, we'll give him." I mean, what was that report? Like 500 million or something like that? It was like a sick report that the Saudis were offering him. It was the rival team to the one that Ronaldo's playing in. So it's the other team that's part of that Saudi league that they are the monsters of that league. I don't know the name because I don't follow the Saudi league, but apparently they were willing to give him like $500 million for a couple of years.
which I mean, hey, they've got a lot of money. So
Yeah,
again, I think there's a chance he comes to. I see him in MLS before I see him in Saudi Arabia.
me too.
Like if it's Cristiano Ronaldo a little bit more in his profile, but I don't think it fits Messi's profile and who
Right.
he's been and what he's been his entire career. So
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. The Inter Miami storyline in 2023. Any season preview goes with some talk about Messi. Whether it's a little bit of talk, a lot of talk, it's just part of the storyline going into this year. That where there's smoke, there's fire. There's been a lot of smoke so far. Let's see if the fire arrives in the summer.
All right. Well, tell them about Miami Total Football, my friend.
Yeah, you can check out the podcast, YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We do it all. So Miami Total Football. We talk about Inter Miami on a regular basis. Probably provide you with as deep and as thorough an analysis and coverage as you can find here in South Florida. So check it out if you're an Inter Miami fan. Even if you're not, maybe it'll help put you on. I actually just tweeted out one of the messages I got over the off season, the football, the MLS, the soccer off season, from somebody that discovered the pod all the way out in Thailand, and they were like very happy to discover the pod, and they were like so happy to found a passionate and detailed podcast. So check it out if you haven't already, and if you already listened, then thank you for tuning in. We do it for you guys, and thanks to you guys. We were also invited to the media game this week at DriveThink Stadium, which was a lot of fun. My team lost, but it was good fun.
Good stuff as always, Franco. I appreciate you immensely, my brother. Enjoy the football this weekend, my friend. Be good.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Franco Panizo, Miami Total Football, MIA Total Football is the podcast. Subscribe to it, download it. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you know when they are going live. And if you follow Franco on Twitter, he usually tweets out when they're going to record the podcast and all that stuff. And then it gets posted right after.
is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.